Hey there. I've had a fair amount of interest in knowing how I made this award-winning Aveda paper dress, so I thought it was time to put the pictures together and narrate it for you to walk you through this pretty straightforward project. You'll need a sturdy sewing machine, lots of pins, a pinnable mannequin, and if you want to do some real details like make lace out of paper, you'll want something like a Cricut machine or a die cutting machine. So depending on the paper that you're using and the look that you're going for, you may want to go through and cut out certain pieces of the paper that you want to be prominent on your gown and get a rough idea of the overall look of the gown. Do you want it to be a large, what they call a cake gown or ball gown? Do you want it to be slimlined and more modern? Layers are good because they can actually help you hide some of the imperfections that you're going to experience with paper. So you may want to think about that as you're incorporating the design aspects of your dress into your drawings. So really, you're just going to start once you've got an idea of the design that you want, and you're probably going to end up varying from that somewhat. But you do want to start with something, right? Some idea, some concept. You're just going to start pinning pieces to the dress. So as you can see, it was important to me, because this was an Aveda show, to have the words Aveda very prominently displayed in the dress. And so I went through a series of just pinning pieces in different areas to see how that look would be. Did I want to make the bust area of the little Aveda strips that all said Aveda kind of fanning out, or did I migrate to kind of a different look with the lace there at the bustier area? And that is what I did. But you want to start pinning things around, and when you take a step back and you like what you see, leave that and move on to something else. You also may want to pin one half with a design and the other side with a slightly modified design to see if one looks better than the other, when you take a step back. And then really all you're going to do is start sewing the pieces together when you know that you like the optics of it. Then take that piece and literally just go sew it together. You want to get a thick gauge needle to go through cardboard. If it is just a lighter paper, you certainly can use a lighter gauge needle. And I often took pieces of ribbon between pieces of paper, because if you just sew a very light piece of paper to another light piece of paper, it's going to tear. So you want to give it some substance, right? Something there to grip onto. So I ended up using ribbons because the challenge of making this dress was that it was supposed to be ecologically friendly. They only wanted recycled projects involved in it, except for the thread and the shoes that the model wore. So I didn't go buy anything. I used Aveda ribbons that I cut off of the bags. They gave me posters and bags, and that is pretty much all I had to use to make this dress. So I used the ribbons as kind of a backing or stiffening material to help reinforce my seams and to fold over and make edging, because of course the last thing we wanted was for the model to end up getting a paper cut. So anytime I had an edging, I ended up taking ribbon and just folding the ribbon.
Oh, that's so
in half
cute.
long
These little
ways
things kind of
and
spring out when you
sliding a piece of paper up into it, so it created
No.
a trim of sorts. And then I went through and I did loose
How are the shoes
with
feeling
the
now?
paper. I curled it around a curling iron. A curling iron can help you curl and manipulate really thick paper. Again, you can take a moistened rag and dampen cardboard or poster board if you need to make a pleat in it, which is what I did for a lot of the skirt portion. I layered the lace that I cut through the Cricut machine between layers of pleated posters. And I just started pinning them, and I wanted to see how the movement of the gown felt. Did it hold together? Of course, a hot glue gun will also come in handy. It's not going to really keep your dress held together. There's just no way it's going to support that type of stress, but it will help supplement your sewing. So where I sewed all the top portions together onto a ribbon waistband, I then also made certain little tacks at the bottoms of the pieces where they overlapped, just to help give them a little more bolstering, a little more support. And really, that's all I did. So you'll be able to go through and see in this video the stages of the dress and how it came together. You'll see like I pinned some areas to the dress and then decided that those didn't really work. They didn't come together properly. So then I ended up with some different areas there, some different functionality in the dress. And in the end, the dress did win. It held up really well. At some point, the bustier did disconnect from the bottom part of the dress, but I had reinforced the ribboning in the back to keep it on her, so it worked out well. And I will take a video series to show making the next paper dress that I'm going to make this weekend, and I'll post those when I'm done.